Krishna Jinka Naam Hai, Gokula Jinka Dam Hai. Aise Shri Bhagavan ko mere barambara pranam hai. Who's got the tabla? Yashoda Jinka Maya hai, Nanda Jiva Paya hai. I say Shri Gopala ko mere barambara pranam hai. Radha Jinka Jaya hai, Adbhuta Jinka Maya hai. I say Shri Jnana Shyama ko mere barambara pranam hai. Luta luta dadi makana kayo, Gwala bala sanga tiyu charayo. I say Leela Dama ko mere barambara pranam hai. Little help. Boom, 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 boom. Vaisesika ko raja bachayo, Rahase gaja ko panda chudayo. I say Kripa Dama ko mere barambara pranam. Hey, okay, watch this. Everybody look over here, watch. Over here. Yeah. Guru Panda Bhakto Yuddha Machayo, Arjuna ko upadesha sunayo. I say Dinanatha ko mere barambara pranam hai. Here we go. Get ready. Bhajaye. Hey! Govinda Gopala. Hey! Radha Govinda Gopala. Gopinatha, Radha Gopinatha, Radha Gokulananda. Free form. Radha Gopinatha, Radha Kirshor Gopinatha, Radha Kunj Bihari. Part. Radha Ranamishwara, Kishore Kishori, Giridhari, Radha Nila Madhav, Radha Radhanatha, Radha Radhanatha, Radha Ramana, Radha Rasbihari, Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Rukmini Dokadish, Kishore Kishori, Kishore Kishori, Radha Govinda. Who gets around the college century? Whoa! Bhajan. Come on now. Bhajan. Hey, Radha Govinda Gopala Hare. I say Shri Bhagavana Ko Mere Param Radha Pranam. I say Shri Jnana Shama Ko Mere Param Radha Pranam. I say Shri Jnana Shama Ko Mere Param Radha Pranam. Come on. Jai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Jai Gaura Hari Bo. Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namo. Everybody now. Radha Krishna Seva Pavo Abhilasi. Everybody. Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna Preyasi. Namo Namo Dina Krishna Dasa Hey Janna Mora Okay, here we go. Go for it. Johnny Connie. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama. Hey! Sankirtan ki. You say. Harinam mantra ki. Shri Hariram Prabhu ki. Gaur Premanande. Nitai Gaur. Okay. Divinity and Divine Service. We have 19 days left to memorize it forwards and backwards, right? Okay. Right? 19 days. 34 verses. Forwards and backwards. You're ready, right? Okay. Shall we try? See, it doesn't matter what age you are, whether you can read or not, you just have to listen. This is Shruti. If you listen, it'll go in and it'll stick right here. It's no problem. Everyone ready? Okay, here we go. Vyasuvacha iti samprashna samrishto vipranam romaharshani prati puja vachastesham pravaktum upachakrame Sutu uvacha yam pravarjantam anupetam apeta krityam dvaipayano viraha kartara ajuhava putreti tanmayatayatadavo binedus tam sarva bhuta hridayam munim anatosmi Yasvanubhavam akila shruti saramekam Adhyatma deepam atitirshatam tamondam Samsarinam kanunayaha puranaguyam Tam vyasa sunumapayami gurum muninam Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Adirayet Munayak Sadhu Prishtoham Bhavadbir Lokamangalam Yakrita Krishna Samprashno Yena Masuprasidati Savai Pum Samparo Dharmo Yato Bhakti Dadhoksaje Ahaitukya Pratyata Natma Suprasidati Vasudeve Bhagavati Yoga Prayojitaha Janayat Yashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayada Haitukam Dharma Svanustita Pumsa Vishvaksena Katasuya Notpada Yedyadiratim Shrama eva hi kevalam. Dharmasya yapavargasya nartortayopakalpate. Nartasya dharmaikantasya kamulabhaya hi smritaha. Kamasya nendriya pritir labhu jiveta yavata. Jivasya tattva jignasya narto yashcheha karmabhi. Vadanti tattva vidas tattvam yajnanamadvayam. Rameti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdate. Tatshradatana munayo jnana vairagya yuktaya. Pasyantyatmani chatmanam Dakta Shruta Grihitaya. Atapumbir Dvija Shreshta Varna Shrama Vibhagasha Swanustistasya Dharmasya Samsadir Haditoshanam. Tasmad Ekena Manasa Bhagavan Sattva-tampati Shrotavya kirtitavyascha yeya pujascha nityada. Yad anudyasina yukta karma granti nibandhanam. Chindanti kovidastasya ko nakuryat katarajim. Shushusho shradathanasya vasudeva kataruchi. Syan mahatsevaya bipra punyatirtha nishevana. Shinvatam swakata Krishna punya shravana kirtana. Ridyantakstohya bhadrani vidhunoti suritsatam. Nashta prayeshu habhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavatyutama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Tada rajastamo bhava kama lobha dagyashchaye. Cheta iter anavidham stitam sattve prasidati. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha. Bhagavat tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Vidyate hridaya grantish chijante sarva samshaya. Shiyante chasya karmani ishta eva manishvare. Ato vai kavayo nityam bhaktim paramayamudha. Vasudeve Bhagavati Kurvantyatma Prasadanyam. Sattvam Rajastama iti Prakritir Gunastar Yukta Para Purusha Eka Ihasya Date. Stityada Ye Harivarinshi Hareti Samya. Shreyansi Tatta Kalu Safatranondrinam Su. Parthivadharano tumas tasmadagnistrayimayaha. Tamasastu rajastasmat sattvam yad brahmadarshanam. Bejure muneyo tagre bhagavantam badoksajam. Sattvam vishuddham shemaya kalpante ye nutaniha. Mumukshavo Gaura Rupa Hitva Bhuta Patinata. Narayana Kalashanta Bhajantyana Suyava. Rajastama Prakritaya Samashila Bhajanti Vai. Pitrir Bhuta Bhajeshadin Shri Aishvarya Prajapsavaha. Vasudeva Paraveda Vasudeva Paramakaha. Vasudeva Parayoga Vasudeva Parakriyaha, Vasudeva Param Jnanam, Vasudeva Param Tapaha, Vasudeva Paro Dharmo, Vasudeva Paragatihi. Sa evedam sasarjagre, Bhagavanatma Mayaya, Sadasadrupaya chaso, Gunamaya guno vibhu, Taya vilashite shveshu, Guneshu gunavaniva, Antak pravishta abhati, Vijnanina vrajrimbitaha, Yata yavahita vanir, Darushveka sayonishu, Naneva bhati vishvatma, Bhuteshu cha tatapuman, Asau gunamayir bhavir, Bhuta sukshmendriyatma bihim, Swanirmiteshu nirvishto, Bhumde bhuteshu tadgunan. Ayayatesha satvena, Lokan vai loka bhavana, Lila vatarandurato, Devatir yandaradishu, Iti Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuraye, Paramahamsam Samitayam, Ratamaskande, Naimishio Prakyane, Titiyo Jayaha, Hari Om. Okay, now we get to share realizations because we're a community. Community means that we have good relationships, that we support each other, and that this is called Guyam Akyati Prashiti. Where's that from? For 20 points. Guyam Akyati Prashiti. 20 points to all my friends. It means that you have a place where you can talk about what's going on with you, and then you can process it. Otherwise, you really get lost in this world unless you have a place you can discuss things. And then also, it's helpful to have a philosophy. In anything, you have to have a philosophy. Like if you're going to take up a musical instrument, you have to have an idea behind how to approach it, like what style of music you're going to play, and what's your mood about the music, what does it mean to you. If you're going to be an investor, you definitely have to have a philosophy, right? Otherwise you'll be all over the place. And so in life we have to have philosophy. We're driven by our philosophy. So Krishna gives us the best kind of philosophy, and then we get a lot of extra information from our acharyas about how to follow the philosophy in very practical ways. And one of them is Guyamakyati Prichiti. It means to ask relevant questions and hear others reveal their minds. So how about it? What do you think? Good idea? But not very good, just like average. Super good and getting better? Any realizations anybody like to share? Okay. There's so much. We've been taking it in. We're drinking in Krishna consciousness with a fire hose over the last several decades. So now let's bring some of it out. Talk about it.
I wanted to share something. Oftentimes, we're reading the second chapter of Bhagavatam just now, and I was thinking about how perfect it is that it has been placed at the beginning of Bhagavatam to establish bhakti as the entire subject matter of the entire Bhagavatam. I was thinking we first start off with Shushrusho Shraddha Vasudeva Katha Ruchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nirshevana, that one should with Shraddha relish the Katha of Vasudev, and that this can only be done by the mercy of great souls. And I was thinking of Vishwanath Thakur comments on that, saying that by the mercy of a great soul, one gets Shraddha, which is faith in the message of Shastra, and thereby they're able to hear about Krishna, and that is their sadhana bhakti. And then in the next verse, when it says, Hridyantasto bhadrani vidhunoti suhritsatam, it's talking about anartha nivritti and how the anarthas start to go away. And then in the next verse, it says, Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavat Yuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki, and then the person reaches the stage of Nishtha. And I was thinking about how so nicely the entire process of bhakti has been placed at the beginning of Bhagavatam, because later in Bhagavatam we find so many devotees who go through all of these stages, from being a completely struggling sadhaka, then high chances that they ran into Narada Muni, because he's the devotee that gives them mercy, and then they all get Shraddha, and then they follow the practice of Narada Muni that Narada Muni gives them, and they're all exemplary devotees. So I was thinking that it's a chapter that, if understood properly, one understands all of bhakti.
Oh, that's nice to know. Yeah. Very helpful. Skeshvari, keep it in the dynasty here.
I was just thinking that since we've been practicing this chapter, I wake up in middle of the night, even if I have to go use the restroom, or like I wake up in the morning, my mind is playing that record of Shishusho Shraddha, and suddenly I would not even realize that I'm actually doing it. I think this is amazing. I have never, thought about it so much, but even without me telling the mind to do something, the mind is constantly praying the 34. Because in the morning we try to remember, when I'm driving, trying to remember what is the next line, because I'm confusing lines. Just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
No, I concur with that. I've had that experience many times with this and others that we say over and over again, and then I just realize, they're just kind of coming out in my mind, but they come out partially a lot of times. I go, what's that other part? What's that other part? What's the other part? Then I have to go back and look at it, and gradually, the mind is a miracle machine. It just starts to put it all together. And if you're young and you hear things over and over again, they really stick. And of course, at any age, really, the brain has neuroplasticity. And if we push it a little bit, of course, I don't have to tell you guys that, but if you push your brain, it actually grows, and it grows neural pathways. The best thing to do is to memorize and hear about Krishna, memorize verses, and don't think you can't do it. Everybody can do it. It's just a matter of repetition and listening and so forth, and then gradually things start to go in. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay, we're on a little bit of a roll. Prabhu? Yes. Koladupa. The nice kurta. Very snappy.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So I was contemplating yesterday's Srila Prabhupada Vyaspuja offering by our community devotees, and I was lazy, so I could not come yesterday, and I missed badly that I could not offer anything to Srila Prabhupada this year. But I really like the devotees who connected with Srila Prabhupada in different manner personally, and you emphasized at the very end from the gist of their offering. It was really, really nice. It was very transforming for me. I felt like that everybody has such a nice connection with Srila Prabhupada, and then you were also telling about that part that Prabhupada is like that thread, and every pearl is actually connected through him. So we all are connected through that thread, Srila Prabhupada. So it was a beautiful program, and I'm really thankful or grateful that you are encouraging everyone every year to do these offerings so that they feel a connection and they feel a personal level of relationship with Srila Prabhupada.
We all get so much out of it. Yeah. Once you start, you can't stop. But we all get so much out of that, hearing everyone give their realization about Prabhupada. He's our founder Acharya, and then, is this real or not? I mean, are we getting, is the juice coming to us or not? And we hear, yes, it is coming. I got so many emails and communications from people saying, I watched it, it was so good. Thousands of people watched it online too. They really appreciate it because everyone wants to hear, what are you getting? What's actually there? And it was so sincerely presented. Everyone presented from their point of view, but really from the heart. I agree, it's fantastic. Thank you. Okay, a couple more. Balaram. All I can say is before you say Partiva Darano Dumas, that was going through my head right now.
Hare Krishna. I also had some realizations from the offerings that we were all reading. The first one was that everyone was speaking about the older times back in the 70s or the 80s or the 60s when Prabhupada was here, or just after he left, and how things were back then and how the facility was very little and how Prabhupada himself came with basically nothing. And to see where we are right now, where we have so much facility, we have so much opportunity to serve, to engage in hearing and chanting, and it's so easy for us. Even a second microphone is such amazing facility that wasn't there before, and I was just reflecting on it's come so far, and there's a lot for us to take advantage of, and that we should do that. And my second realization was I think the week before, you said that it's everyone's duty to write one of these offerings for Srila Prabhupada, and in that offering we are able to share basically our deep realizations, or at least understand what we're feeling, what we appreciate, what we value in Srila Prabhupada. And I really felt that in that process of writing it, where it was very nice to just take a step back and just recollect everything that I'm grateful for, that I want to say thank you to Prabhupada for. So I found that really nice, that whole process of writing it. Even if I'm not going to read it, it was really nice to just write it down.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. You said we've come so far, and I was thinking about how we're taking dosages of this Krishna consciousness, and we may not know how much we're taking in. Just show up and stay there for the festival for the whole day, and you're hearing, and it could be, major overdose. So much so that it's like you've come so far. It's like, you've come too far. You're not coming back, buddy. No, he's gone. But that's how our life gets carried away. As Shastra Prada brought up, there's a way that, Shushu Sharadhanasya, and then the progression in that paragraph in the Bhagavatam that's so iconic. And we may not even notice it ourselves because it's subtle. And then at some point, as you were saying, there may be a comparison somewhere. We go some other environment or whatever, and everyone looks at you like, what happened to you? Drinking too much Krishna Katha. 1, 2.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much. So I was reflecting on Janmashtami. So there are a lot of devotees who came, who took darshan, and then I was doing this parking and shuttle seva. And then everybody, after they get in, the first question I ask is, how is the darshan? How is your experience today? And everybody has a smile, a big smile. And everybody said that, wow, this is amazing. I mean, there is so many people, but how did you do this? It is so welcoming, so warm. Everybody is so nice here. We felt so connected. We felt so happy coming here. And this is not an easy event. How did you all organize this? So I heard that from several people. And I asked this question to each and everybody who sat in the car. And it's a very enlivening experience to hear from the devotees who come to take the darshan. So that shows how you told in the morning to set the right mode of, see everyone as very important and serve with cooperation.
Have you ever had somebody come to your house and then say, whoa, where'd you get that painting? It's like, oh, that old thing? And then you start looking, wow, that is pretty good. And when we have those people, when people come in from outside and they start looking, you watch them come in the door, they're like, hey, how'd you do this? And how did you learn how to park cars all over the place? We did it. We've been doing this for years. I was thinking about how lucky we are to start small and work our way up, because we've had the opportunity to live in the craziest little places in the world. I mean, you all grew up in we should have been taken away for child abuse for putting in the 100-degree weather for Janmashtami with no air conditioning, like Haribo. But we learned how to do it. All these things, just organize everything from years and years of doing it. What to speak of the fact that we sit in this environment all the time. And some people, they're walking in out of the storm of nonsense sound vibration coming from every direction. When they come in here, you just see it on their faces, right? Yeah, it's a very similar point to what Balaram said, just about comparing it, and it really helps to see through other people's eyes what we're actually doing. Kita Priya.
I think it's because I've been at temple so much this week, but I've been having so many realizations or little thoughts that I really wanted to save and write down. So that's exactly what I did. I made a little note that has like all the realizations I've had in the past few days. And like Balaram said, it's just so nice to have everything you've realized written down in front of you so you can look back at it. And I think I've really been appreciating that. And so
it's one of the reasons Prabhupada said to write. I've compiled several of the directives Prabhupada give to everybody about writing. And I notice myself keeping diary, and I go back and I look at them. It really helps to see where you've been, where you're going, and so forth, what your goals were. Nice. Okay, couple more. Sharing means caring. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Maharaj. So one thing I was remembering is when my parents were here last year, my dad was comparing to the kirtans back home, and he was saying that maybe we should record Vaisesika Maharaj kirtans. I will take it and show to my Siksha Guru there so he can sing more variety. And yesterday we were discussing with one new devotee family who are coming for last few months. So he was saying that one thing he really likes at ISKCON temple here, they go to so many other temples, but he was saying that the kirtans here are of different quality altogether. And he was really appreciating you in how you sing so many varieties of tunes, engaging all of us, our minds, our souls also. So that is one thing I was just thinking about and feeling grateful to you, to Srila Prabhupada, for bringing this process. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. I was just thinking of the Chaitanya Charitamrita and the Beta Kirtan pastimes. It relates to a lot of what we're talking about. It's one of my favorite sections. Maharaj Prataparuja goes up on the roof to watch all of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates come from Puri, from Navadvip. They're all coming to Jagannath Puri and say, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? It's like, what are they singing? What kind of kirtan is that? Of course, I can't sing Prem Kirtan, but they were singing Prem Kirtan, and he said, what kind of kirtan is this? And he said, that's Prem Kirtan. And that's what we got from Prabhupada. As you listen to Prabhupada's songs, they're otherworldly. They're not professional. They're not anything from this world. You listen to it, and I remember one of my godbrothers once saying that Prabhupada's kirtans compared to everybody else. He said, I don't know if you'll be able to appreciate this culturally. You have to have context. But he said, Prabhupada's kirtans are the Beatles. Everybody else is a garage band. I guess you got. Because it was just so far and above on the transcendental platform, that kind of, and it just shows also that passes down. That's our goal, to sing like that, to follow in Prabhupada's footsteps. Okay. Radhakripa Prabhu. Only one more.
Guru Maharaj, today my neighbor actually also visited the temple. He has been coming for, I think, 2 or 3 times, 4th time maybe. And he also visited us on the Janmashtami day. And I couldn't say hi to him because he saw me twice. I also saw him once, but because it was a little tense moment that time, I couldn't say hi. So I just told him, sorry, I couldn't meet you on that day. He said, I saw you 4 times, and I was in the queue, long queue. And but he said line was moving really nice. And I'm really amazed at how well this event was organized. Then his wife chimed in and she said, like, I'm still can't believe it that you guys are managing this event like that. Then I said, so, this is really after so much hard work, if somebody is such good words is nice, are you going to give testimony? He said, no, I can speak at any form, tell me where to speak. Then he said, especially when we came to the altar, typically to go any other temples, when the moment you come in front of the temple altars, it is always chaotic. You cannot have any darshan properly. Here it was so nice, smooth. You could come to take the prasadam and all that. So both of them, the way they said it, I couldn't translate in their tone, but they were truly, genuinely appreciating all the team effort. So I think this is a testimony of hard work, which under your leadership, everybody else put together as a demonstration about in a mood of cooperation that things worked out. So thank you.
It was sublime in all its aspects. The organization was seamless, and the decorating, the aesthetic of it was mind-blowing. And just the mood here all the way, I'm left with this impression at the end. The last kirtan, it was 12:30. Then we did a few more Hari Bols. And then everyone was looking like, now what are we going to do? It was so heartwarming because everyone started standing there like, we're not going to leave, right? Can we keep doing this? And I just felt we're so fortunate to be able to do it all the time. And to also keep the doors open in such an organized way as you all did, so that people can come and have that experience, and they'll never be the same once they have it. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Shri Radha Madhad Mohan, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, if you so desire, please swallow us up in Krishna Katha and devotional service so that we can't break free ever. And please kindly drown us in the affection of the devotees and of your kindness, and please drag us back to the spiritual world where we can keep doing this as our eternal occupation. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer in whole or in part, please unmute and say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpa Vishchak.